Welcome back, guys. In this video, I'm going to explain 8 reasons that you can't astral project and what you can actually do about it. So before we get into this, make sure to subscribe because I do post weekly astral projection videos and techniques, and also just information about how you can have an OBE and how you can make the whole process a lot easier. For the first time, astral projection can seem like a bit of a daunting, kind of a scary experience, really. A lot of people don't know what they're in for. They don't know what to expect. They're scared, they're worried, or maybe they just don't know how to do it, and maybe they don't even care. There's all sorts of situations that you could be in when you first learn how to astral project. So for those who actually can already successfully astral project, I do have a really advanced guide on my site, astralhq.com. There'll be links in the description, but let's just get right into the reasons that you can't astral project. So number 1, this is the most common one, you're just not relaxed enough. One of the main reasons people fail to have an out-of-body experience is just that they are not relaxed enough. Being calm is one of the most important things about astral projection, and you should really practice your relaxation techniques first and try and get really good at doing them before you try and have an astral projection experience, before you try and have an OBE, and before you try and explore the astral realm and all of that stuff. That stuff comes later. It's really exciting, but you should first learn how to relax and meditate. So one of the most common and probably the most simple methods is just to regulate your breathing. You can do this by just lying on your back on the top of your bed, or even just sitting in a comfortable chair, taking really slow, deep breaths and then exhale your breaths. You can do this continuously while you keep the mind focused on just doing that. So you need to keep your mind really focused, keep your thoughts, from wandering around. You can do this, you can practice this by meditating, but you can also practice this by just counting your breaths from 1 to 10. That's really going to make a big difference for this. So after a few minutes of doing that, you'll realize that you're actually really relaxed now. So you continue to practice that breathing method multiple times, and pretty soon you'll be good at doing that. You'll be a good meditator. You'll be good at relaxing and calming your mind. Number 2, you're actually falling asleep. This is a really common problem that people have, is when they try and astral project for the first time, when they try and relax themselves deep enough to actually do it, they'll actually just fall asleep. And this is also a common problem with lucid dreaming. And it's probably one of the biggest challenges that people have, is how do you stop yourself from falling asleep when the whole goal of this is to relax yourself as deeply as possible to the point where your body and muscles are paralyzed. So the question is, how do you do that without just falling asleep anyway? Just falling asleep and not being able to astral project. Well, many people do it, so you're not alone. It's a really common problem. And here's how you can stop yourself just falling asleep like that. So most people try and astral project during the time that they are usually going to go to bed. So if you try and astral project at 9 or 10 in the evening, the chances are your body and your memories and your subconscious mind will be thinking, this is when I normally go to sleep, so that's what this guy or girl is trying to do. And so you're actually holding yourself back by doing that. By astral project or trying to astral project during the time when you would normally fall asleep, you're basically starting the experience. You're trying to start the experience with the odds stacked against you, because your body is used to falling asleep at that time. It's also not the perfect time to have an OBE, because your hormones are not in the right balance. You need to have your hormones in the exact perfect balance in your body in order to actually exit your physical body and explore the astral realm. The best time to do that is not during the evening. It's actually in the early hours of the morning. And there is a sweet spot between the hours of 4 and 8 between the hours of 4 and 8 a.m., depending on what time you normally wake up, where your serotonin levels have started to rise. Serotonin is responsible for self-awareness, critical thought, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, your melatonin levels are still quite high, so you're still sedated and sleepy and tired, and you've already had pretty much a full night's sleep at that point. And you've had your deep sleep by then as well. So that really is the perfect time to try and have either a lucid dream, an OBE, an out-of-body experience, or to try and do something like remote viewing or any of that sort of stuff. The best time to do it is in the early hours of the morning. If you try and, like I said at the beginning, if you try and astral project when you first go to sleep, you'll end up just falling asleep, because it's not the perfect time to do it. The perfect time to do it is in the early hours of the morning. Number 3, you might have a lack of patience. Most people, especially beginners, when they first try an astral project, they'll enter the experience with quite a few expectations. They'll have some idea of what they want it to be like, what they want to do, and how they think it should happen, how fast they think they should be able to do it. But often those experiences and expectations are not accurate. It's going to take you longer than you think, in a nutshell, okay? So it's no wonder most people give up before they've even really had a chance to learn how to do it, because it's just not going to happen as fast as you think it is. So really, when you go into this, you need to have the expectation that you're going to practice this for potentially months without actually having any results. It might take you 1 week, it might take you 6 months, it might even take you a year. It really does vary depending on, your level of self-awareness, your vibrations, your mindset even. There's so many different variables here. But you really need to commit to practicing it until it works. Now, it's pretty safe to say if you're listening to this podcast or watching this video, you do believe that it works and that you can learn it. And that's the first problem. Most people don't believe in it, so that they hold themselves back, before they've even tried, really. But the second problem is you need to have patience. You need to believe in yourself and believe that if you keep practicing the techniques, you will eventually have an OBE. If you try and rush it, you're just going to discourage yourself and make the whole process a lot more difficult. Number 4, fear. Most people, most beginners who try astral projection are actually afraid of what they don't know. They're afraid of random things like, what if I get possessed? What if I get attacked by spiritual or demonic entities? What if I break the cord between my body and my astral body, the silver cord? These are just some of the questions that might be going through your mind when you're trying to astral project or when you're trying to learn about it. And this is not going to help you at all, okay? Firstly, yes, there are dangers. There are some dangers associated with astral projection, more so than lucid dreaming, definitely. But that being said, just like anything, there is a risk in almost anything you do. If you walk down the road, there is a risk you could get hit by a car. There is a risk you could, get attacked or fall over and hit your head. There's all sorts of risks every day. So if you want to get the benefits of astral projection, if you want to actually experience those things and get those benefits in your own life, then you have to be willing to embrace that risk and master your fear of the unknown. And just like in life, normally what happens is people are afraid of what could happen, but what ends up actually happening when they do the thing is everything's fine. They don't experience any dangers and they, get the benefits and have a really good experience. So 99% of the time, what you're afraid of will never actually happen. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind. Yes, there are risks and dangers, but if you do it properly, if you learn the safe and correct techniques, you're going to have a really good experience. Nothing bad is really going to happen to you. Number 5, you don't have a good astral or dream memory. Memory is one of the key factors in astral projection, because if you have an astral projection experience, one of the most annoying things that happens is you wake up and you have no memory of the experience whatsoever. This is also common when you lucid dream, or even just with normal dreams. Most people's dream recall is really bad, so they won't actually be able to remember the experiences after they've had them, and for that reason they're not even aware of the fact that they might have had the experience because they can't remember it. So you can actually improve your memory, and in this context I'm talking about your astral memory, your ability to bring memories back from the astral realm. And by the way, before you beat yourself up about how you can't do this already, just remember what you're doing. You're separating your awareness, your consciousness from your physical body and entering a different dimension. Now, entering a different dimension is not for this is not some small task you're accomplishing here. This is a really big, incredible, profound thing that you're doing. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do it perfectly straight away. This is far more complex and difficult than almost anything else you've tried so far. So yeah, you might not be able to remember things perfectly your first time round, but you have your whole lifetime to practice this skill. So here's how you can try and improve your astral or your dream memory, okay? You need to keep a notepad or a journal where you write down your experiences after you've had them. Now, at first you might not be able to remember much, and that's fine, but you need to still write things down. You need to keep a journal so that when you do remember things, you actually have a record of it. Because otherwise, let's say if you have a really good astral projection experience tomorrow, okay, and then you don't write it down, what's going to happen in 6 months' time? Yeah, you might remember that you had an astral projection experience, but you won't remember the intricate details of it. You won't remember the feeling or the colours or the details of what you saw and felt unless you write things down the second you remember it. Number 6, you're too full, meaning you have too much food in your system. Your digestion is working overtime. And I know this sounds a bit crazy. This sounds like this should have nothing to do with astral projection, but it really does. And actually digestion has a big impact on almost every other process in your body. If you have food in your belly, if you are digesting something, every other process in your body is not as good or efficient as it could be if you weren't digesting that food. Now, don't get confused here between two things. Firstly, you do need food to survive. We need fuel for our bodies. Our bodies need food to be able to do everything that they do. Okay. However, when you digest food, the process of digestion takes up a huge amount of energy in terms of calories. So if you are trying to do something else, like in this case, leave the physical dimension, which is quite a big task, you don't want to be full. You don't want to have digestion happening at the same time. You want all of your available energy to be spent on pushing your astral body out of your physical body. If half of your energy, in terms of your calories, is being spent on digestion, then you're holding yourself back from the very beginning. So try not to eat before you astral project. And if you're actually going to try and astral project at the right time, which is in the early hours of the morning, then in this case, the advice would be just don't have a meal too soon before going to bed. Try and have at least 2 or 3 hours gap between the time when you finish eating for the day and the time when you actually end up going to sleep. This is really going to help you. Number 7, you're too distracted. A big reason why the idea of an astral body experience continues to be a mystery to you is that you're distracted. You're constantly having thoughts and ideas bombarding your mind. Maybe the room you're trying to project from has loads of distractions. It might have noises, there might be LED lights going on, maybe your phone is blinking in the background while it's charging, maybe there's noisy neighbours, maybe there's just too much going on in your room for you to be able to relax deeply enough to astral project. And you can solve this problem by just completely auditing and editing your room. Remove any source of light that is not the window. So, and even the window, you need to have blackout curtains so you can make it really dark in the room. Any source of noise, you need to be able to silence that noise. Let's say if you have a charger, you need to be able to unplug that charger. If you have a computer in the background, even if it's on standby, you need to be able to turn it off so that it doesn't make that whirring noise. And you also need to remove as many distractions as possible. I like to keep my room completely empty except for a few essential things, so that the only things I do in the room are sleeping or astral projection. And this is a really powerful way of, training your mind to associate a particular place, in this case a room, with what you're actually doing in the room. Number 8, you're using the wrong method. You're not using the right technique to astral project. Now, around the world and in different cultures, there are many different techniques and methods to astral project. And I can think of about 15 of them just off the top of my head. Now, if you can't astral project, if you're struggling to do it, then you might want to switch to trying a different technique. But you need to strike a balance between trying new techniques and giving the existing technique enough time to work. This is really quite a difficult thing to balance. So you need to give yourself enough time for the technique to work and for you to actually practice it, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. And you also need to balance that with changing the technique and trying new techniques over time. If you try one technique for your whole life and it doesn't work, then you're kind of stuck because you've tried the technique, it's not working, so you have nowhere to go from there, you have no option. However, if you try a technique for 2 weeks and then it's still not working, you should at that point try a new technique. And there are many to choose from. So I'm going to list at the end of this episode, I'm going to list where you can find these techniques, where you can learn more about astral projection. But for now, just consider changing your technique and changing what you do, but not more often than every 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you've been watching the video, then I hope you've enjoyed the visuals. If you've been listening to the podcast, I hope you enjoyed the audio quality. And I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, follow, share wherever you're listening or watching this. Now, I want to give you something extra. So if you go to astralhq.com/join right now, you will get access to a free PDF guide about astral projection. You will get over 15 powerful ways to have astral projection experiences, a PDF ebook, a really strange but kind of easy technique that you can use to give you more OBEs just by sitting in a chair, as well as some mindset changes, discounts on products, exclusive email tips, stories, and loads of other stuff. So I really am excited about this. I really hope that you want to get on board with that and get a load of free astral projection resources and tools. So like I said, just go to astralhq.com/join and you will have access to all of that stuff completely for free. As always, leave a comment and I look forward to sharing the next video with you.